Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome to day 4 of the 12 days of anime. I hope you guys have been enjoying the shows so far. I've been working my hardest to make these videos and pumping them out to you when, they're supposed to come out every day. I know they come out at different times. It's only because I really just get home from work. Sometimes I'm just out. As of this video, for example, I'm recording this on Sunday. This is going to be airing Monday for day 4. I'm exhausted. It might show on my face. It might show just in the way my hair is kind of disheveled right now. I got off work. I was exhausted. I barely got through the door and before I wanted to collapse, and I am going to probably collapse after making this video. But I figured to do it now before later on because I wanted to talk to you guys and make this video. And while it still was it's still in my mind, it was something that I've kind of always wanted to talk about. And it's definitely going to be a very controversial concept because let's put it to play first. What do you think of when someone says anime? I think for 99% of the people that watch anime, they right away think Japanese animation because Japanimation is what anime is. Back in its creation, like back in the 50s or 60s, around that time period, when Gigantor and Speed Racer, came out, or Mach Go Go Go, as it was known, or in Tetsujin in Japan. When those series came out, they were anime. That was like one of the... I'm not saying even the first conceptions. They're not the first conceptions of anime, but they're like some of the earlier anime. There's another older series that's, I think, still running. It's like one of the oldest running shows ever. It's I believe that was like one of the first anime series that was ever created. But that is anime. That's what many people say. It's like, oh, okay, that's true anime. It's why when people talk about cartoons and American anime, quote unquote, people get pissed off at those people. I know some YouTubers that take a very big chance, and it sometimes irks me a little bit too that when you're talking about anime, they start talking about cartoons and American. It's like, it's not anime. No matter what, anime is Japanese animation to me. It's always something that's supposed to be Japanese animation. Japanimation, again, that's the whole premise of it. But I understand why some people think that there is anime to be found in Western culture and, even in Eastern culture that's not Japan. Like, you can see it in China, for example, and it's kind of like where if you see the screenshot, you kind of know where I'm going with this a little bit, but you see anime spreading around the world and going to these different countries and being made by people in different countries. Like, for example, Castlevania is not an anime, but if you go on Netflix, it's considered anime, and to many people who've seen it, it's considered anime because of how it plays out. It's made by the people who made Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Korra. But the thing is that it's also something that feels like anime. It looks like anime. It has a very anime-esque concept to it. And, I want to say another series like that is Ruby. Ruby, made by Matayama, God rest his soul, was a series that, it was never considered anime to anyone. Like, it was always CGI / computer animation. But as time went by, Ruby became more and more evolved. It became more in-depth. It became something that just blew up in many ways. And the animation for it became very similar to Japanese animation, to the point that if you go to Japan, there's actually various stores that sell Ruby products. They have giant posters and giant stands of Ruby. And there's even sections where it's like, we're selling Ruby because they have manga that they made for Ruby in Japan. They have a Japanese dub for Ruby. That's how much Ruby is considered in Japan as anime, even though it's not technically by any definition anime. I think as the medium has evolved, as the years went by, anime has become more than just something made in Japan. That it's like, oh, the Japanese animation. It's something that a lot of shows in America, even in Europe and various other places, they make, and it's like, that's basically anime. Even like Code Lyoko was another series that I know a lot of people consider anime, and I'm like, it's technically not because it was made in France. It was made in Canada, I believe, but technically with a French studio and a Canadian studio put together to make it. So it's not anime technically, but a lot of people feel like it is. It's the sword where it's like, you don't want to piss people off, so you don't want to end up on that sharp end of the sword. It's a double-edged sword because you don't want to end up on the sharp end of pissing the anime community off by saying this is anime when it's really not. But equally, there are a lot of people who are the duller end of the sword where they're like, this is anime. If it feels it has the heart of anime in it, it's anime, no matter what. So I'm a little bit on the fence with that myself. But one series I want to talk about that I feel like is probably one of my favorite non-anime but is basically anime is the King's Avatar, which again should have been kind of spoiled from the screenshot. Which if you at least know what King's Avatar is, you realize what I meant by all of this. The King's Avatar, in case you guys have never seen or heard about it, is about a young Chinese player who plays this PvP based like MMO, I want to say, where him and a whole bunch of friends, they join and make an esports team, and he rises to the rank that he's the top of the world. He's the best player, but various people in his group start like having things where they get jealous of him and they try to make him, you know, oh, that like his age is too much, he can't really, he shouldn't be playing anymore, or oh, you know, we're better players, and they start phasing him out slowly, but to the point that they kind of go and betray him in many ways and to kick him off the team without him really wanting to leave. And yet they still keep his character around because they're like, we need the symbolism of this best character in the world. What he ends up doing is not quitting the game. What he ends up doing is making another account, and, you know, against everyone's wishes, he starts playing again and makes this character super badass. You know, this character looks like a nobody. It doesn't have the same era that his main character had, but it's a character that has been rising up slowly, and people are starting to notice it. And it's kind of cool because you see how how some gamers play on the computer. Like, there's a thing where they even measure how fast you hit the keys and stuff like that. A little unrealistic at times, but it's still a lot of fun. And it blends a nice kind of concept where you see the characters being represented on screen as, you know, the avatars, obviously, sometimes, but also whether just them, you know, outside the game, they're talking, they're having their lives, they're having their various struggles, they meet people, etc. It's a great series. I love the animation for it. I think that their animation is not perfect. The walking in that series is horrible. Like, when they walk around, it's like almost they're sliding. The second season fixes that, where it doesn't have that same essence to it, but it's still not the best thing animated-wise. It still has some flaws here and there, but the series has action that I think even anime could be jealous of. It has some great action sequences. I mean, there are fight scenes in the King's Avatar that are just like, holy shit, I need to rewatch that. And the music is really well done. It feels so much like anime, but it's not. And the thing is that many of you will now, I know, say, oh, well, you're not making a video that's talking about, you know, anime on the 12 days of anime. I still technically am, because here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Anime, as I said before, isn't something that I think slowly is just based in Japan anymore. I think it's something that is now evolving to instate other countries and other places. I think that anime has become something that, if you want to make it in the form of anime and you create it, it's anime. You know, it might not be the best anime, it might not be true definition of what anime is, but it's anime. It's something that feels, it has the soul of anime. And that's what I think I love about that. I think that, you know, as time goes by, you're going to see more and more shows and more studios from different countries making anime-like products and you know, videos and shows, to the point that I think at one point you're not going to ever have someone just saying, oh, I'm watching anime. Well, from what country? I feel like that's going to be something that actually ends up happening. It's not always going to be, oh, Japan. It's going to be like, oh, you know, I'm watching a show from Europe. I'm watching a show from America that's an anime. I feel like that's possible. I mean, like Voltron, for example, is considered by many to be anime. The newer Voltron, the new Voltron technically is not. It's made in the U.S. You know, it has people that are from Japan. It has Japanese editors and stuff like that, but it's not anime technically. And yet, Voltron is originally anime. It's crazy. It's something that's like, you're like, oh my god, what makes sense anymore? You know, is this anime? Is it not? That I'm gonna leave to you, because today's question, and how I'm gonna end the video, obviously, is the big question of the day. Do you consider anime to be things that are not Japanese based? It's a simple question. Please be polite, by the way, folks. If I see comments that are very rude or hurtful to other people that might have different opinions than yours, I will immediately delete those, and I will re-delete them many times I have to, because honestly, my videos always, I try to strive to make sure that it's a comfortable place. If you do have a discussion about something that's polarizing, you're not going to have that feeling of like, oh my god, someone's going to attack me now, like destroy my channel or destroy. I don't give a shit about that. I want to make sure that you feel safe on this thing. I want to make sure that you don't worry about having your channel, if you're from another channel, having it destroyed because now you have people plaguing you and saying, oh, your decision to make this comment or whatever is wrong, and blah blah. I don't want that stuff. I don't care about the whatever is in your mind, and when it comes to that, I just want to know how you feel in terms of, do you feel like anime is solely Japanese based? Do you feel like that there are anime out there in the world that are anime but technically aren't by definition? That's what I want to know. So, leave in the comments below, you know, your thoughts and opinions on it. I would love to see them. I will talk to you guys later for day 5. I'm going to go crash and get some sleep. I'm exhausted. Have a great night, everyone. God bless you all. I'll see you day 5. Bye-bye, everyone.